So first we have to establish the context, right? So you had a kidney infection. So let's go through that. So you worked maybe a little bit too much.
Yeah. So the context is that I got sick for the first time in a long time, and this is in relation to a workout we did yesterday. I did yesterday, and the point to make is that I'm basically untrained.
Yep.
Right now, when I did the workout.
Detrained at least.
Yeah.
Because you have you.
I was deconditioned. I'm generally in good health, and then a few months ago I got really sick and I didn't do any hard strength work for.
So how long ago exactly?
About
2-3 months.
Not 2 months. It's about 6 weeks that I haven't been able to do anything.
Okay. Yeah, so that's enough to detrain, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's enough. Yeah. And all I've done is a few like deload runs. I tried to work out with the sandbag, but it messed me up.
Yeah.
I tried to do some rope pulls, and I was like, this is too much for me.
Because you were fairly sick, right? So they ended up you ended up with a kidney infection. So nothing
I ended up with
trivial.
it was a pretty bad bacterial infection, and then I had antibiotics, and it didn't work. Get other antibiotics, and I've just been feeling my healthy self again for a few weeks, and I was getting better and better. But the point is that I've never been really sick. I've always been I've been training for the last few years. I've been okay. I had insane amounts of seminars all over the world, and it just tired me out. And I was in a calorie deficit for a while. I was doing ketogenic, which is generally hard. And
at the same time you were traveling and doing seminars and everything. That's a lot.
And that was a bit too much.
Yeah.
And it generally happens. So what happens with me is that my mental strength is bigger than my physical strength. So I kind of like ram my body into the wall, and just mentally I'm feeling fine. There's a lot. There's 9 out of 10 people watching it are like that. And now it sounds really bad, but this is just it was just a combination of a lot of things that caused me to ignore that I was sick. That was the problem. And then I got really sick, and it took a while. So the point is that I came from subnormal health for my own way of working.
Because you haven't lifted weight in a long time.
I haven't lifted weight in a long time. And then, so we've been playing around with a few different protocols, a few different ways to integrate breath work and the IT work. And then Julian came along 2 weeks ago, and I showed him a few things when it came to breathing that I came up with. And then he started playing with it, and he was like, I might have found something.
Exactly. And so through playing with the breathing, he introduced a new idea. And out of that came that idea of the cyclical versus acyclical movement, and how it adapts to a certain torque chain and the nervous system. So I found out that the cyclical movement will allow me to target internal torque and the parasympathetic nervous system. So I've tested it on top level athletes, and it worked tremendously. And I've noticed like I can gain, on myself and different people, like I can gain tremendous strength endurance out of it. It's gonna be that you can explain the science of that better than I do, but it surprised me how much I could get out of it. Like so there are 3 components to it. Is you have to have the proper wave pattern, which I'll explain later about this. You have to have the right breathing, and you have to have the right mobility through the wave pattern. If you can get all 3, you seem to get into a flow that allows you to do much more work at a lower heart rate, and it seems at a lower pH level, which would trigger strength
higher
endurance.
pH, which is lower
higher
acidity.
pH, lower acidity, sorry. Which would seems to trigger strength endurance like crazy. Like I know Sarah Lugman was able to do, she took a 27 kilo, 60 pound sandbag, was able to do 22 strict presses, followed by 23 push presses, so 45 total, in that state of a wave through the correct breathing. So the idea was like, okay, so it works on top athletes, but that's usually a bad way to test that thing. So I was like, okay, so let's see if it works on Kasper, who's detrained right now. So we made you do a hard workout. For the one I know my template, it was max dumbbell presses into rope pulls. Rest about 2 minutes, do it again 2 sets, and then max sandbag squats into max distance drag for something 2 sets with about 2 minute rest. So that's basically my main template. Those are my 2 favorite workouts, upper body, lower body. And it was a shitload of work. And I put you through it the normal way with correct weight and everything. And so the normal way would be that you wake up this morning completely wrecked.
Yeah. Well, first of all, during the work, because I've done work like this before, where you do rope pulls and everything. Yeah. And the whole time your body is fighting against the freak out. And you feel your body, your nervous system wants to twitch you into the ET, and you want to get away from there and run from the bear. And I didn't have that at all. which is very interesting. And I have
the mind, and the mind
the
is
great
very
thing
calm.
is, and we could even and even actually on my Instagram, there's a video where I do the 30-meter row pool
if you
in
guys
the rain.
want to check it,
And we can post some other stuff. We filmed all of it. And Greg was doing it, you were doing it. What's really interesting is I've been working with this breath work that I've been testing on different athletes. And you have their workout, and then I go, okay, so that's the workout. Now here's some breath work to kind of hack the workout to make it go better. That's what I've been doing, which has worked pretty well. But now, because it's so integrated with, if you look at the exact functions of the nervous system and the movements and the cycle and the breathing integrated, if you look at the video, there's no moment where there's even a flinch.
Yeah,
in the
you don't
nervous
come off of it anymore, so you don't have to reset. You're in it in the workout.
Exactly. And if you've ever seen anybody do row pulls and they start in IT and they start to fatigue, and you notice
they look up, they're
fighting and they're looking up and they're fighting and everything, and there's not even a twitch in the movement.
And you notice like your grip didn't cramp.
So my grip didn't cramp. That's very interesting.
All mine always does.
And normally, if you come out of heavy work like that, you're broken, and you have this deep fear for the next set. You're like, shit, I'm gonna have to do that again.
It stresses you mentally, and then you have that acidity feeling, like when you're like you're breathing hard, mouth breathing.
You have to fix
You're
the acidity.
very stressed mentally, and then you always have that lactic acid feeling every time, and there was none of that. I was very calm mentally. My heart rate was low. I didn't feel any lactic acid. My grip didn't cramp. It was so weird.
It's like I came out of the workout. In homeostasis.
Yeah, the calm was crazy.
Or even better, it was like I came out of a long meditation, even though I was,
It reminded me of that feeling of what you made me do with the breathing.
Yeah, it's this very deep, calm feeling, and I could have felt all these systems.
You know, like you come off it and you have that breath it makes me do where you exhale and then you have the same pressure in and out, air pressure. Yeah, felt exactly like that, but through the entire workout. And I could rhythm in rhythm. And the calmness that I felt no stress mentally between sets or after the workout.
And so the great thing is, I've done this before. Normally how this goes, and I've done it with people, with untrained athletes, and also, I've done it so that we're kind of backstage in my gym right now, and we've done this here before. And what you see is, during the set, people are fighting the freak out. Yeah. In the rest, they're recovering, but they're like out of breath, and you can see the fear in their eyes. Like they don't want to do another set because they know they're at the point of puking, and it's all very intense. And then afterwards, they kind of their heart rate is up, and they're completely destroyed.
Kicks in, but then
a few hours later, they're already feeling like, oh, I'm going to be sore tomorrow, and then they wake up and it's like, oh.
But I mean, how many of us felt even great during the workout, but 3 hours later, here comes the crash. You feel like shit. You're kind of stressed out that night. You're like, oh, that was so hard. So you feel you've done some work, but there's a stressful component to it.
And what we've done now is you stay within the ranges of mobility. The ranges of mobility are determined by your ability to breathe within the motion.
That's another thing.
That's a very important one. And then we use the cyclical patterns to determine
in the right torque,
and to stay in the torque, and then to modulate, for example, eccentric, concentric with in-breathing and out-breathing, or the other way around, depending on what you want.
Yeah, breathing decides mobility, that decides the movement, that decides and so it's a loop, basically.
So what we've been able to do there, and the reason that I felt that way is because it completely triggers the parasympathetic system. Yeah. You stay within there, and you don't just trigger it, you trigger it intensively. And this is something that is being missed. That the idea that you're either completely stressed and sympathetic, or you're completely calm. But you can actually be very physically active and have your parasympathetic system running.
And it shows you it's
on all engines. Yes.
But to me, what surprised me the most, that's what I wanted to see, is you woke up this morning not sore.
Yeah.
That's the thing, because that should have beat you to shit.
Exactly.
That was actually a hard workout. By the way, we did it in 20 minutes. So how much time did you take in between sets? We took 1.5 minutes, and it was like, it's fine.
Something like
Complete calm mentally. Yeah. I was like kind of getting bored. I was like, let's go again.
So normally it would be
5 minutes rest in between.
At least 30 minutes or 40 minutes of work.
Yeah, we did it in 20.
You know, feel messed up the whole time. Next morning, wake up, and now
even when I feel great training, 3 hours later, I always crash.
Yeah, and it was crazy because I kind of went. Julien was like, "I'll show you something." I figured something out. Let's do this. So I was like. And normally when he says that, he's going to break me.
Yes.
It means
you guys all know this. Yeah, usually means, oh shit.
You're going to be close to puking and everything. And now it was like, okay, do max dumbbell presses. And I did it.
Yeah.
And I put it down.
To true failure. And then what did you say, by the way? I didn't do much.
Yeah, I didn't do so much.
I didn't do,
and
and then
like,
I show you the video. You actually went to muscle failure, which you didn't even notice you were doing.
Yeah,
I know it's completely.
And I had to watch myself fail on video to realize that it was actual muscle failure. Yeah. And then nobody ever tells Julien Pinot, "Give me more. What's the next thing?"
Exactly.
I mean, and I was like, "Boom, let's go." And then I went for the rope pulls. I came out of it, had a rest, and then during the rest, I could feel my body get ready. Instead of normally you burn yourself out during the work,
and then you have to
then you kind of like
mentally go back up.
Yeah, you crash and then you have to put yourself back up. And
now
I came out of it, and now it's like, boom, let's do more.
That's the thing. There was no rebuilding phase. You were ready to do more right away.
And
it's so weird.
Within
it's not weird,
10 or 15 minutes of doing the work, I had the kind of pump that would mean, like, after if I would do a 45-minute bodybuilding session of a lot of different movements and a lot of things and wearing myself out, if I would have that sensation, I'm like, oh, that was a good workout. And I felt that in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Without feeling stress on the body, just pump and just excitement.
The pump was crazy because I had done the workout with Niels and Nolan the day before where we pushed really hard at exactly the same feeling, except the pump was much higher than normal. Like my phone delts, everything was pumped, but with a very calm mind and very low heart rate. And no cramping in my hands. So there's 2 in a row where I felt no cramping in my hand doing hard rope pulls. That makes no sense.
It makes no sense at all.
It makes no sense.
And especially, and then after we finished, I was like, this is great. And I feel like I come out of a 40-minute meditation while I've been come out of.
And you should be wrecked this morning.
Yeah, because I've done this. Like I've done this.
I've done it to enough people to know.
Exactly, and I wouldn't be able to normally. You know how you when you do.
I know
this
that was kind of my test. I was like,
you can't get up.
I was like, if we put the sandbag squats and everything, it's gonna be dead tomorrow. But let's see.
Yeah,
that's kind of mean. But and you're not sore. That means we hacked the human body on this.
Exactly, and that's the thing. And I was like, I was excited because I knew I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna feel awesome. And then I went to sleep, and my daughter, she's 2.
Right, you didn't sleep.
She woke up in the middle of the night. I only slept like 4 hours, and I was like, oh man, this is not going to be a reliable experiment because I'm going to be. Because if I don't train and I have a bad night of sleep, I wake up sore, right? Yeah. And now I wake up better.
On 4 hours of sleep, and your daughter waking you up all night long.
Crazy. And the only thing I felt was a little bit in the hamstrings because I had the eccentric motion. But my shoulders that's my problem area, right?
Yeah.
That's my injury point. And normally I have so much trouble doing anything over.
By the way, those were 10 kilo dumbbells that you did for 20 reps in a cyclical
like
way. Yeah. So for you, that's enough to wreck your shoulders.
Oh, absolutely.
As if you didn't feel it during, you don't feel it today.
And also, even when I do sets of pull-ups, and I do like 5 or 6 times 8 pull-ups, I generally would not feel a very big bicep pump. I'd feel it in a lot of places, not really the bicep pump. And then yesterday after the rope pull, my biceps were like completely on fire.
And your lats was active. Yeah, I know.
Nothing.
The reactions is so different from my normal training. I felt weird because in between sets I was like, I don't feel anything. So I never felt actually trained.
Yeah.
Because I never felt stressed by it. Normally, that's where the burn the question comes in. Because those training sessions stress me so much. I gotta go past that. I gotta burn the questions because I don't want to do the next set because I know the pain coming and it stresses me out so much I don't want to do it. Yeah. That's where the burn the questions always came in.
Yeah.
I never felt I trained.
Yeah.
Because the parasympathetic is like it's triggered, but so I think the main thing and your soft tissue is not bad either, right? Your fascia seems to be
ready to go
properly.
I feel like training.
I think it's because we removed all the stress basically from the
workout. So here's the paradigm shift, right? We were talking about this yesterday. Normally, you look at this workout as like a line, and if you don't do anything, you don't get anything, and then you bring yourself into the zone where you put enough stress on the system that it makes you stronger, but it doesn't damage you, which is Hormesis, right?
So you can't go past that.
And if you do something, if you go too hard or too far or too much, you can go into the zone where you're doing more work, but you're damaging. Yeah. And then if you go even beyond that, you're injured and you're done, right? And that's kind of like the line where athletes push themselves into the zone where there's enough damage to have a response, and they keep themselves. They want to stay in the damage zone for as long as possible.
Exactly.
The paradigm shift is here that we've been able to define anywhere between doing nothing and going crazy. We've been able to find a zone where the body can actually thrive.
Yeah.
And if you look at hypertrophy and adaptation, you basically you create a survival stimulus where the body goes, shit, we better, this is stress, we better recover, we better come back stronger. And it seems like what we've done here, and this is just me riffing, but it seems that what we've done is we found the zone within which the body thrives while performing, and then increasing the amount of time being able to stay in that zone.
And that will create hypertrophy. I think the way we've been creating hypertrophy is by going against muscle, against nature, by creating an improper leverage, by stressing the body to force it, that's very Western thinking, to force the body into adapting. But by creating stress and with everything that goes with it.
Yeah.
I think the way we're doing it now is creating hypertrophy by increasing the time and attention. The capacity for work, time and attention will create hypertrophy the correct way instead of the way, which was very forceful, but that also comes with a lot of stress. So I think we did hypertrophy by going against the body. The way we're going to do it is going with the body.
Yeah. And what's so interesting in this case, within the context of my story of having been sick, before I got sick, I could easily you could wake me up any moment of the day and I run 20 kilometers. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I'm not really trained, but that's just something I can do. And actually, in the moment that I was really sick, when I had the fever and everything, and it's a long story, but anyway, I had the fevers, all of my injuries came back, which is very interesting because I spent 2 weeks on the couch and I stood up and I just walked across my room and my Achilles tendon started hurting like it would after 15 kilometers of running. I was like, shit. And then I stood up and then my old wrist, my other wrist, the one that I broke, my ulna, for the people who read What Doesn't Kill Us, they know the story. That started hurting again. And I had this old shoulder injury. It started hurting again.
I know.
And then I started trying to get back to training the last few weeks. And I've been in the gym and I wouldn't be able, I dropped the sandbag that I shouldn't have dropped. The last time I did a workout 4 weeks ago and I was like, I'm not back in shape. I did a 5-kilometer run. My shoulder hurts. I'm like, how am I going to get back? And now I do way more work than would have been, than would have been
in the last few weeks.
Sensible.
And, exactly. Yeah.
And I'm feeling so much better.
Yeah, you should be beat up because that was a lot of work.
And there's no sign of my body feeling like there's no injury. There's nothing telling me. There's no internal sense telling me that I've done a big workout, except for feeling better than I did.
There was no stress, no bad stress in that sense.
Yeah.
This was pure hormesis.
So normally I have the way that I physically can tell, oh, I had a workout yesterday is because I feel a bit less. I feel sore and everything. Now the way that I can, the difference in
you can walk into
subjective
it
sensation is that I feel better because of the workout, and that makes me go, wow. Because if you can have a professional athlete that needs to make hours on the field or basically training for two or three times a day, and you can have them come out of it and looking forward to the next one.
Imagine if you could just remove the mental stress alone, and God knows there's more than that. But if that alone.
When you see your programming, when I was doing the powerlifting, I saw the program, I was like, oh, that's going to hurt.
That third session.
Monday, that's going to hurt.
Because
Tuesday, that's going to hurt.
You have to train with MMA, you have to train 2-3 times because there's so much skill, just like CrossFit. Imagine you have that third session in that day, you could walk into it going like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's going to beat you up, but whatever.
Yeah,
that alone would be a win. So if you I designed the workout for exactly that result. Even me, I'm surprised how it's working.
Yeah. And there's already, ever since I did it yesterday, I've already been thinking of we could get into that zone with some breath work. We can bring ourselves out of it.
Now we have the percentages to get there. We know. So now we know how to get there. I have the percentages of the weight. I have the wave pattern.
And that's the thing. The fact that we can use the percentages means that we can pinpoint the zone of the nervous system in which you want to train.
Yes. So now we can we know how to raise intensity in the parasympathetic nervous system.
And instead of
build up the parasympathetic.
And what I love about it is normally you have an external measurement, like you do work, and then at the outside you have a rep max, or you have a time, or you have a lactate, or whatever, like a VO2 max. But now you can, instead of triggering something and then reading the result, you can trigger for result.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. So
there's so much to be done with this.
Yeah.
But it worked from you all the way to my top athletes, and it worked the same for me, for you.
And you're going to have some of the best CrossFitters in the world come over the next few weeks. We're gonna be able to test on them, and see what works. And just it's a great.
Some of them are going to be pissed and not coming, but wait, that's not fair.
Yeah, but, there was no official invitation.
Yeah, exactly. Not yet. It's coming, but not yet. Yeah, I want to, for a performance perspective. This is ridiculous. But imagine if we can trigger intensity in the parasympathetic nervous system. How far we can take this? Now you're talking the mental aspect. I mean, oh my god.
Yeah, because you could even go during the games like, oh, you did this amount of work. You need to do that amount of work. Then how can we get the nervous system recovered before you're there? But you're coming out of the first workout recovered for the
warm up alone, right? Imagine how we felt if you could warm up like this.
Yeah.
And go into a workout already with heart rate high enough so you can push,
Yeah,
but without the
pre-activated.
without the lactic acid buildup.
Exactly.
Oh.
So that's one of the things I've been
warm up
doing with
a lot.
athletes. I've been doing pre-activation through breathing, because you
Yeah.
can use breathing as a trigger for the nervous system to go,
Now we
oh
can
wait,
do
there's
it.
a bear coming, there's a bear
But
coming.
now we can do it with
Exactly.
training.
And you can do it in movement,
Yeah,
and in
in
relative movement for what they're going to do.
Yes.
So you can get the nervous
That's
system.
a true warm up.
Yeah, so you can tell the nervous system, this is what you're going to be doing. Get ready.
So that's way more than just a warm up.
Yeah. Yeah, pre-activation. is
Pre-activation.
much more.
But even for the strategy of the workout,
Yeah.
you can pre-strategize the workout. You can pre-strategize the nervous system for the workout.
Yeah. It's amazing.
For CrossFitters are gonna.
And even like programming is not going to be. There's not going to be an external program that tells you what to do. You're also going to reprogram your nervous system
for
to do the work.
Yeah, to do exactly the work that is coming.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
For performance.
So to wrap it up, because we're going to do more fun stuff.
Yeah, no, and that's enough because then
For now, for the people. So what we're basically doing right now, the reason we're posting this is what we're doing. Like we told each other, like, if we were going to do this stuff, we're going to keep sharing with everybody.
And record everything. And
let them know where we are, and we're just going to keep playing with this stuff and then integrate it into Strongfit probably and see what works.
Well, yeah, but then we'll do seminars together about the nervous system.
We'll have a great time
and all that stuff. Okay, awesome.
Good times ahead.
See you guys.
Stay tuned.